So we had a little technical difficulty. We had a little technical difficulty. But getting back to this Mexican system, this is a lot. If individuals thought, well, Brittany Griner in Russia, it was a really fast, swift justice of her. This is going to be very protracted. Um, they were saying that in many trials they would lose evidence. It's a very loose type of um, trial mechanism. What I mean is, it's not the safeguards, evidence. It doesn't have, like I said, the burden of proof is, recently presumed innocent, but prior to that, it wasn't. So this is going to be a hot mess. This is going to cost a lot of money. Obviously, you have to get a Mexican or someone of a Mexican Hispanic descent that is familiar with that court system down there. But like I said, 3 judges, no bench trial, and all that has to be shown is she died, that she was killed, killing being an unlawful death of another, and that there was a friendship, and that person is the one that did it. No intent. So the fact of the matter, give you a prime example. Say, for instance, you have 2 individuals and they are arguing and they've been drinking and they get to fight, and one of them is injured seriously and ultimately killed. There's what we call mitigation. What is mitigation? Mitigation many times is the fact that you were drinking alcohol. And so therefore, instead of it being a murder too, you may get manslaughter, which is up to 15 years, which is a kind of heat of passion type of killing. Second degree murder is we have 1 or 3 intents to kill. You had the intent to commit great bodily harm. You had the reckless indifference of life, and or there was an intent to kill, but it could be 1 or 3. That's a bigger crime. But you look at the person's intent. Here you don't. You look at the relationship. That was my girl. She was in a room. She died. That's the end of story. No intent. So the fact that, it could be argued that maybe they were, mutual combatants, which I mean, they were fighting, which I don't know because we haven't seen the whole thing, the whole film, but video. But what I do know is that there may be exigent circumstances that we don't see. Well, you had a relationship with the woman, you were a friend, personal relationship, not intimate, and she died. And based on what we see, you were the initial aggressor, and she ultimately died from her injuries. 45 years in prison. Boom. And when I tell you, their prison system is archaic. Ain't no central air. Like I said, you got 4 people to a cell that's about the size of 3 bathrooms. Take your bathroom and multiply it by maybe about 2 or 3, and you got 4 people in there. The back then, if people wanted just good, decent food, not good food, I ain't talking about no filet, but I'm talking about non-molded food. You had to pay $1,000 a month for protection just to assure you would have the basic rights that you would have if you were incarcerated in the United States. It's a lot going on here. And the fact of how, to me, loose their criminal justice system is, in that there are not a lot of elements to prove, there's a chance that everybody that went on that vacation that was in that video can be charged based on how loosely they interpret that law. And when I'm telling you about Mexican prisons, they ain't no joke. No joke. Okay. The guards many times get paid better by inmates' families than the government itself because it's so inhumane. It's nothing to eat molded bread. It's nothing to eat, whatever the situation may be. It's not uncommon. When this particular prisoner got to the United States in a Wayne County jail, he was like, this is the best thing going. He said he felt it was like almost being at home with his mom because they were two people to a bunk. They had decent food and they were safe. But there, it's like the wild, wild west. And that is with their prison reform. So whomever is responsible need to take this serious because this ain't no joke, not the conditions out there. They are horrendous. Horrendous. Okay. There's probably no jail system that we have in America that can compare to it. It's that bad. So when you go to Mexican prison, you better have plenty of money because that money got to pay your lawyer. It got to pay for protection for your family member just for them to be treated with decency. 45 years or 65, baby, they ain't number numbers. So that's a whole different thing. And we'll be back. We'll take some callers. We'll be back.